All right, ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has been saying that the party will showcase its support at its Siyanqoba Rally at the FNB Stadium in Johannesburg today. We'll show you those pictures. Now, those thousands of party members and supporters are expected to converge to the iconic calabash. You see those pictures live there now to finalize the ANC's elections campaign ahead of Wednesday's polls. Well, Ramaphosa walked through the streets of Soweto yesterday, showing a glimpse of the party's support. All right, and those are pictures, of course. We've been showing you pictures from the FNB Stadium there as members and supporters of the ANC make their way. Members of the ANC Women's League also making their way there. And ANC members have been encouraged. We saw last night from the ANC president encouraging his party faithful to go out and basically have that show of force ahead of the elections, of course, which are taking place on Wednesday. We'll try to cross to Samkele Maseko. In fact, Samkele is ready for us at this particular time. Samkele, hello to you once again. What are we looking like in terms of the stadium at the moment? Are you able to show us what is taking place? And when is the ANC president likely? I know you spoke to Mahlengi Bengumutsiri a bit earlier on. She indicated that the stadium is filling up quite fast. So any indication at this particular stage, any update on when he's likely to take to the podium?
Well, Griselda, at this point in time, as I step out of shot, we can see that the stadium is relatively filling up. ANC members are coming in at this point in time, and the president of the ANC is expected to essentially speak at about 2 o'clock this afternoon, when the stadium is full to the rafters, and we are anticipating that at some point the president of the ANC will speak here at this particular stadium and reflect on this particular organization and how far they've come within this particular campaign, a campaign that they have perceived to be a very difficult campaign for them, particularly knowing that they are on the back foot. They have been boosted by their door-to-doors in recent times. But I'm going to bring in the ANC Youth League Secretary in the Eastern Cape. Essentially, as the Youth League, what are you anticipating from the Eastern Cape as their provincial secretary on this particular rally of the ANC, the Siyanqoba Rally?
Thanks, Samkele. Let me greet you and the viewers at home. The ANC is going to demonstrate power that is ready to take over elections on the 29th of May. It's just that we understand that people are still getting inside because there are many numbers outside in terms of the gates who are trying to engage the leadership to open the gates so that at least by 12 o'clock the president of the ANC can address. You must wait for president going to address the stadium with full capacity, with majority of young people to rubber stamp that we are taking over the elections on the 29th of May. We are ready as the African National Congress.
But what are you as young people going to get out of this organization when youth unemployment is at a skyrocketing high?
We are not going to take away from that fact, Samkele. There are many things that have been achieved by the government of the ANC. Part of what we are aggressing to say, there is high rate of unemployment. But if you can check statistics, in the last quarter in the Eastern Cape, there was a report of a decrease. Those are the challenges that are created because there are many people who must be swelled by the government of the ANC to employ. Remember, we are no longer the government of the minority. We are the government of the majority. Now we have to address everyone. Now, that is part of the problem that are created on the basis that we are having the government of the majority. Then the ANC has got plans. We have said in our manifesto that our first priority is to increase jobs. It's what we've been doing, but because of capacity and the growth in terms of population, and that we want everyone to feel comfortable about the government of the ANC, we have said, let's ensure that we stick to that resolution. It must be our first priority to ensure that we create jobs for everyone, particularly young people. We are addressing Samkele. We'll see that even in Gauteng, Comrade Panyaza is doing well. Panya, we are going to disseminate that program to other provinces to ensure that everyone is part of the program of renewal, building the nation and the country, to ensure that the ANC is in charge, is taking over. Everyone must be inside the ANC. We are going to employ everyone through our program. There is a plan, Samkele. There is history that we have. there's also experience of what has been done and where we are lacking as the ANC. We'll implement, we'll fix our mistakes. We're here for that.
But what are you doing as the ANC in the Eastern Cape to better the lives of the people of that province?
The government of Comrade Mabuyane is doing well, Samkele. Go and check statistics. We have built 100 schools in the last financial year, in the last 5 years, where Mabuyane was leading as the premier. In terms of the employment rate, unemployment is decreasing. There's healthcare systems that are being placed. We are doing well as Eastern Cape. We understand that we're a rural province. There are challenges, but the government of the ANC led by Mabuyane is doing well. You can check track record of what is happening in the Eastern Cape. The Eastern Cape is no longer that Eastern Cape in 10 years back. Every day, Comrade Mabuyane and Comrade Blacks are opening schools. Every day, Comrade Meth, who's the Minister of Health, is opening healthcare systems. There is everything that is being done in place. Even unemployment rate is decreasing in the Eastern Cape. You can check systems in place through NYDA and also funding that is made in the office of the Premier to ensure that you address the issue of unemployment of young people in the Eastern Cape. We commend that work, but we are saying there's more that needs to be done in the Eastern Cape. We have trust in leadership led by Comrade Mabuyane as the Premier.
Thank you very much. That is the Provincial Secretary of the ANC Youth League in the Eastern Cape. But I am not alone here at the FNB Stadium. I am with my colleague Ntanta Khatane, who is amongst the loyal, faithful members of the African National Congress who have gathered here at the FNB Stadium. Over to you, Ntanta Khatane.
Well, thank you so much, Samkele. Indeed, coming to you right here from FNB Stadium. I'm amongst the people. ANC members have started drifting in. You can see behind us. We managed to talk to them earlier, pretty much saying the same thing, saying that, you know, they trust the ANC. The ANC is the only party that they trust. And despite challenges that the party might have faced, they remain confident that the ANC is the only party that can change their lives. But I'm just going to bring this gentleman in. Thank you so much for your time. Are you confident that the ANC is not winning the election? Especially my South Africa man with our ANC by faith.
I'm very confident which ANC is a winner because the ANC have done a lot. And about the African, they must still have a hope for the ANC. Our challenges are against the ANC. They must remember about South Africa, which ANC, Iran government, elite government, a multi-party government, where there are different organizations who have got their views about the country, vision.
But the ANC, if I faith when it comes to service delivery in the last 30 years, but if I faith for the past 30 years, Babuaka corruption, lack of service delivery.
Service delivery ANC although ingekho 100%, especially in the rural areas like abo KZN, abo Limpopo, Mpumalanga, because those ndawo lezo indawo ingathi tertiary states or ama-chiefs. So infrastructure lapha cannot be put there. But the ANC have done a lot in the 30 years, but still you have to another 30 years.
Thank you so much. The same sentiment pretty much. ANC, despite its challenges, has done a lot since our arrival. We've seen people, you know, coming in. I mean, the capacity of this stadium is 90,000 people, over 90,000 people rather. And 4 days to go to elections. It remains to be seen if the ANC, which has been in power for the past 30 years, will emerge victorious, especially with a lot of political parties, independent candidates now are allowed to contest the elections. And, you know, with over 27 million people, you know, have shown interest to vote in this coming elections, we know that, you know, this is the last weekend for a lot of political parties to try and convince a lot of South Africans to give them a chance to govern. A lot of them saying that the ANC must be dethroned or taken out of power. But since our arrival here, it seems very interesting. Since this music started, people running around, jumping around, we know that, like I said earlier, this stadium can handle or hold up to about over 90,000 people, Griselda. But whether this will translate into a positive result for the ANC, that remains to be seen. As you can see on our visuals there, people dancing. We know know that the elections day starts on Monday during the special votes, and then from there it will be on the 29th, whereby South Africans will go out in their numbers to give that political party that has sold their message, and that message, if it appeals to them, they will probably vote for that particular party. But these elections are deemed to be one of the most interesting since the dawn of democracy. So from now onwards is to election day, where the people that have registered will go out in their numbers, whether over 27 million people will go out and vote. That remains to be seen, and the day will be definitely end of this week. Many South Africans will know which party will govern and will be in charge in the 7th administrative of South Africa's democracy in the government. So that remains to be seen. With that being said, Griselda is back to you in studio.